Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about two huge mistakes that United States citizens make when they apply for the K1 fiance visa. And who are we? Let's first mention the problem. Many just cannot find love in their city. So we help people with the 90-day fiance visa so that they can find love in marriage. Hello, my name is Edward Paul Reyes, and I'm an attorney licensed in California. So, what are these two huge mistakes that people make? Number one, they are unable to prove that they are in a bona fide relationship. And number two, they do not meet the income requirement. Let's talk about the first point here. Bona fide relationship cannot be demonstrated sufficiently to the United States government. So, how do you overcome this? Right off the bat, you want to take photographs. And see, what you want to do is you want to have photographs with the beneficiaries, the fiance overseas, and you want to show various scenarios. For example, holidays. That's very important, right? And also with family members. That is key. Now, sometimes there may be a discrepancy. Well, I don't want to say a discrepancy, but a gap between the ages. And what do you want to do there, right? You want to be extra careful. Here are some tips. Number one, you want this is I'm asking for a lot here, but it depends on how much you want it, right? How much you want to find love, and how much you want to succeed when you apply for that K1 visa. But my suggestion is that you start learning the foreign language. Yes, it might mean you have to hire a teacher, and many of these foreign languages are difficult because, to be honest with you, we just, right, as a U.S. citizen, we might not have someone to practice with. But it does take time, and you should start right away. And here's another tip for anyone, even if you don't have that large age gap. But you want to let time pass, right? Maybe you want to meet the person, of course, take photos, and maybe wait like 4 months, 6 months, 8 months. And then you want to maybe make a second visit, right? So that shows that it's a bona fide relationship. And also it's a safety net because we're talking about the rest of your life here. You want to make sure that it's the right person. And how do you know that? Only by spending time with them. So of course, if you just meet them, you meet them one day, and then right you go to the foreign country, and then within 2 weeks you apply, right, within 1 month. That kind of sounds sketchy, and it's not. It doesn't seem like it's going to benefit you as a person because you need time, right? So these are just things to consider. Okay, so now let's talk about the second point, the income requirements. Okay, now you do have to be above the poverty line, but I want to write it. And if you don't meet the requirements, you can always find a co-sponsor because the government is interested in you not becoming a public charge. But there's more to it than that. Okay, and I'll just be honest with you here. You have to know two things. You have to know your sexual market value. And you also have to know the term hypergamy. And why do I say that? Because you want to be a student of relationships. I think that applies not just for people applying for a fiance visa, but just in general. And if I were to say, what's your SMH? Many people would just look at me like, what are you talking about? SMH is this, sexual market value. We all have one. Let me give you an example of where the SMH is not applied. If you look at the show 90 Day Fiancé, And let me just name a couple examples. And if I get their names wrong, you're going to have to excuse me. But there is Larissa. And then there is her fiance, the initial guy. He's heavy set. What's his name? I forgot. I'm not even going to try to guess. But his sexual market value was pretty low. And hers seemed to be a little higher. And what happened? She just ran all over him. So it was bad. And then there's another couple here, Natalie, and she's from Ukraine, and she meets a guy. I think he's from Washington, and his sexual market value was also lower. And in that situation, she ended up just using him, and she just pretty much got a free ride. He paid for everything. Once she got here, she would live at a different house. So these people seem to know, like the men, I'm talking about the men, they seem to know very little about their sexual market value. And if that happens, then they're not in a position to negotiate, or they'll have low bargaining power. Now, what the studies show is that if, for example, if you're the man and you have a higher sexual market value than the woman, then your relationship there is going to last longer. And that is what we all want. We all want to be in relationships that function properly, that last, that are healthy. Okay, and also hypergamy. I didn't mention that word. So many people throughout the world, many potential spouses, many fiancés, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a better life. So hypergamy, and right, that's the word that's used. That's meant, hey, you want to marry up. Okay, so that's another reason why you want to know your sexual market value. But what all this encompasses is it does tie into income. Am I saying that you should marry for money? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that money does play an important part. And if you don't pay attention to that, if you think it's not important, then you are going to learn a very hard and awful lesson. So study. This is what I'm saying. Now, I am an attorney. I am licensed in California. I do have an office in Los Angeles. I also have an office in Russia. I've been in Russia for over 4.5 years. If you have any questions, if you're considering the K1 process and you just want to talk to me, I am available for consultations throughout the United States. Why throughout the United States if I'm licensed in California? Because immigration is a federal issue, right? So it doesn't matter what state you're in. Of course, if you're in a different country, I probably couldn't help you because I'm not licensed in that country. But any of the 50 states, give me a call or send me an email. I will leave my information in the description below. Also, subscribe to this channel and put a like. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. Until soon.